their verdict on the fuel, food and labour crisis that they do? Well, they say it's caused by Brexit. Although government ministers may insist it is wrong to blame Brexit for Britain's fuel, food and labour shortages. But for the rest of Europe and beyond, there is only one reason why the UK's crisis is so very much worse than everywhere else. Oh dear, I wonder. One is tempted to tell the British, they say, you have only yourselves to blame. We all tried to talk you out of it, but you decided, well, to do it anyway. Now you have to face the consequences. Well, you made your bed, and now you've got to lie in it. Oh dear. Prickly old sheets they are too, with occasional thistle. Those who put that cross in the wrong box to leave the European Union to regain control, they did. But now, when the promised post-pandemic economic upswing should be the beginning, you are experiencing, well, the exact opposite. An unprecedented loss of control. Well, Britain was suffering more than most from the global supply chain problems, mainly because of EU workers that have been told to leave, or just left because of xenophobia. Since Brexit and immigration rules pretty much shutting out any fresh brains, creating major labour shortages, where it is, well, maybe unskilled work or skilled. Well, the UK, it's become economically isolated. The country faces an autumn of discontent, a winter of discontent, probably a spring of discontent, for which Brexit is the only reason. The government, however, insists none of this has anything to do with leaving the EU, sticking defiantly to its Brexit fiction as a success story, even if its statements are getting more and more bizarre. Ridiculous, you could say. Oddly for the government, Brexit is just not among the possible causes. And probably the BBC. They don't mention the B word, no. For ministers and for much of the media, especially the once respected BBC. Well, responsibility lies anywhere but with themselves, as far as they're concerned. Agreed the most evident shortages of the 100,000 HGV lorry drivers. Well, I believe it was not solely the consequence of Brexit, but by introducing a short-term visa scheme for foreign drivers. As if it's going to help at all. Well, the government had basically admitted that exiting the EU was a decisive factor in the supply crisis, and that it is a bad idea. Yes, actions speak louder than words. Moreover, I have said before, visas won't work. Why would a Romanian or a Bulgarian truck driver come to the UK? They are wanted in Germany, Belgium and elsewhere, describing the expectation that cheap labour from Eastern Europe will save Christmas. Well, at the push of a button. Then for them to have to just disappear again into the ether, well, quite frankly, it's shameful and ridiculous. Alexander's, Boris the Johnson's bet was that Brexit would show Britain was in control of its borders and that wages would rise. But if Britons cannot fill up their cars or roast a Christmas turkey, he will have to find another answer to the question of why there are shortages. all over the UK, but not in France or Germany. For which I can confirm. After all, I live in France. So, there's no shortages in France. No, not at all. Well, I say that there is shortages of drivers everywhere in the EU. But they have neighbours. And they have, well, freedom of movement. So they help each other. Not necessarily intentionally, but through business. It's just how it's supposed to work and how it used to work for the UK. But not anymore, no. When I say the UK, Northern Ireland's actually okay. It's just maddening, that it is. It's bemusing as well. And every day it makes me even more curious to hear what comes out of the mouths of the Tory sleaze party. They're just moronic. They keep coming up with the most bizarre excuses for all the problems that we see around us in the UK. Anything as not to admit that it's Brexit. Although some ministers are starting to waver a little.
Hey everyone, welcome to Environmental Coffee House, and we have our special guest, Raza, Eco Warrior. And so far I don't hear the echo, so maybe it's fixed. Hi Jennifer. Jennifer Hynes, Sandy Schoelles, and Raza. Hi Raza. Okay, now we can't hear you, so turn your thing, whatever it was, back on. Guys, when people are across the pond, and sometimes there is the lag, there was an echo, so now Raza has to get himself back so we can hear him. How are you, Jen, while Raza's working on that?
I'm good.
Don't get upset, Raza, we just want to hear you. We can't read lips. It's so great to see him though, but we hey Raza. All right, Raz, what did you do before? And Jennifer, while he's working that out, why don't you tell us how you are? Tell us about your week. What's going on, sister?
I've been working hard. I am, I don't know if I really want to tell you what I'm up to. It's like pretty nerdy. I'm doing
nerdy.
Amazon Web Services partner certification for my company with a team of people. So it's all nerdy all the time.
Wow. All nerdy. We need a show name, All Nerdy All the Time.
All nerdy all the time.
Yeah.
But so what has prompted this show tonight is my sister lives in the east of the UK. She lives in Essex, right?
Okay.
And she's lived there since 98. She actually is an English citizen, British citizen. And she's been telling me that things are kind of getting shook up with Brexit. So I thought it was worth just spend a little bit of time, maybe get away from climate for a moment, and methane for a moment, and just take a look at the economic situation and get, kind of like our man in England. I'm not exactly what town, Raza, you're in. I'll just say you're from London. How's that?
Hopefully he's going to get back.
Since I can't talk to you, I'll just make it up wherever you're from. I think you're from London. We're going to say you're from London. So he's our man on the street. And he's going to tell us, is Brexit really, is he experiencing personally that it's affecting the British economy? Like, is it affecting him? I know petrol's been very rough, but we have a couple of articles that we're also going to be going through a little bit later in the show. And the first one is from a really good blogger called Umair Hague. I don't know if you guys know him, Umair Hague, but every time I read something, oh yeah, okay.
I've read
well, anyway, so have you? Okay, so we have a blog post from him, and it's this is the brutal reality of Brexit. The Brexiters were wrong. The alarmists were right. Brexit is already a catastrophe and its effects are only just beginning. So that's one article just out. Another article just out. It seems that I've lost that one temporarily. I'll have to go and run and get it to finish this thing up.
Okay.
The Guardian, we've got one entitled European Parliament Calls for Tougher Rules on Offshore Wealth. Very interesting. Sandy has supplied that very kindly.
Yeah.
And
But I'm gonna get
Pandora
Raza
Papers,
back.
the secret owners of UK property worth billions. That's very fascinating. I watched a really good documentary about that recently. It's gripping to see how messed up our whole financial system is and how it is like looped around in all these offshore
Yeah.
accounts for the
Yeah,
very, very
I don't know if
wealthy.
you can hear me, Sandy.
We
We
can
can
hear
hear
you.
you.
We
Yeah,
can
let's.
hear you.
Yeah, we just gotta name you Raza and me Sandy. Yes, what did you do? It doesn't have an echo either. This is
So great.
great. Oh, goody, 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 goody. Well, Jennifer was just going over, the reasons why, and her sister. Do you want to tell him? I don't know if he heard that your sister lives in the UK.
Oh, right. Yeah. My sister's lived in the UK since about 98, Raza. And she's a UK citizen. So I get the latest on what she's feeling about Brexit and the impacts of it. So how are you doing, Raza? I'm so happy you're joining us on the show here tonight.
Me
Very
too.
nice to see
We
you.
chat all the time on the Discord. Because I set up the Discord and there's like
Right,
this
I don't know.
core
Can you
group.
hear me, Sandy?
Yes, we can. Can you hear us? We can hear you. Affirmative. Oh, I just love
Yes,
live stream.
we can hear you.
Yeah, right. We can
You
hear you.
sound
Okay.
great.
Good.
Good.
Oh, this is wonderful. Live is just wonderful because of all of this impromptu stuff. And every single live show, Jennifer, that I watch, and I watch Nicole say, I watch everybody.
Oh, yeah.
They all go through this. So I feel honored when we go through problems. So anyway, Raza, take it away and talk about what's going on there. What'd you think of my the opening guy that I found on the video about what he was saying? Are you having shortages? Is it scary? Is it the media? Give us your whole spin because you're the man on the street. And you have to do your magic smile. Hunter said, do the magic smile.
Okay.
There it is.
Right. Yeah, I like the way you keep saying that I'm on the street. I'm not actually on the street. I live in a house. Okay.
Yes.
I managed to get out of that situation, and
Oh, thank God.
I got myself a pad. So just for the show, baby. I'll be back out there tomorrow. Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, with the media, obviously, there's going to be a bit of bias, bit of hype, bit of razzmatazz. Razzmatazz. Look, see. But
All right.
yeah, I had the traffic last week. The traffic was blocked up, for hours and hours. It was blocked up outside my house because we have a petrol station down the road, and it caused, there was buses and people, just sitting in the buses, and they didn't know what to do. They were there for 2 or 3 hours, the poor guys, and but that was last week. Now it's got rolling again, and the situation, it's going to take time to solve. But those empty shelves you saw in the supermarkets, the empty shelves are actually a bit of a con because they're just like, local apples that are missing, or carbonated water. We had a problem with carbonated water, which I love. And some of the cheap carbonated waters, because you can't make this stuff up. The whole planet is suffering because we have too much carbon dioxide, correct? But in the UK, we run out of carbon dioxide
I saw
because
that.
We
That's
didn't have
awesome.
any CO2. We got, we just got rid of it into the atmosphere. It just went. And no, what happened is that the lorry drivers couldn't deliver the CO2 to the drinks companies. So
Yeah.
we had a run on carbonated water, and my cheap carbonated water, was I was upset, because I drink 2 liters of this stuff every day.
Cheers.
And so what I had to do was I had to go to a more expensive brand. And then I noticed I went, yesterday, and they had it back on the shelves. So the empty shelves are a bit of it's what they did was they selected a little empty shelf here or there, and that's what they do. That's the media, they'll go for that
Gotcha.
weak spot, and then, you know.
That's kind of wild. It is
So
kind of wild. Wow. So it's the
yeah,
media. The media is driving the more hype. And what media do you think? I mean, because Jennifer's sister was talking about it, and she's living there, and then Umair
no,
Haque, I don't know if he's sensationalizing it or what, because you know he does, but he's a great
Yeah.
writer. What do you think, Raz?
this is the media. This is the media all over the globe, right? Watch this.
Oh,
Oh.
ooh.
Smoke and mirrors, yeah, smoke and mirrors.
Mine doesn't look
Oh.
like yours.
I've
Smoke
got
and
a big
mirrors.
one. See, I have a big
I
one.
have
See.
a smoke and mirrors graphic. I'll have to find it. All right, keep going and tell us more. Tell us more.
Oh, wait a minute. I forgot to fly the flag today. Hold on 1 second.
Oh,
Yeah,
dang.
I
You got
was.
to get that flag up. We have it in our
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I've got my
background.
flag. Okay. This is my gardening hat,
Oh,
which I
cute.
don't
This
normally
Oh.
is
wear
great.
because I wear one of the other gardening hats.
Oh.
But
It's great.
yeah, I don't know. It's not.
Awesome.
I don't know if it's my. It's not really my look, but I'll
Oh,
leave it up
it's
there.
adorable. We love your
It's
look.
very
Okay.
nice.
Yes. You can
So
keep it on.
I must say I didn't get to introduce myself properly, but yeah, I'm Raza. I'm in London. Okay. I'm not English. Let me explain that.
Hmm.
I'm British, but obviously I came from Pakistan originally. So I don't, because I wasn't born in this country. I cannot take that stamp of being English, but I can certainly call myself British because
Well,
I
you're a
have a British
citizen, right?
passport. So yeah, absolutely. I'm
Okay,
not here
so
illegally.
yeah, and well, we didn't think any of and Jennifer, your sister, does she
Yeah.
have dual citizenship or is it
She does. She does
ah,
have dual
interesting.
citizenship. I think she got her citizenship maybe 20 years ago, something, or
Oh.
maybe 15 years ago. But she's been a citizen a long time. And she's never coming back to the US. She can't stand it here.
A lot of people are,
Oh.
the last 4 years
Yeah,
cemented that, right? So,
Yeah.
Raza, how long you been in the UK?
in the UK, oh, since I was 6 years old.
Okay,
So
well then,
let's say
that's
40, 45 years. 45 years.
oh, okay. He's a young pup. Oh,
Ah!
we know, yeah, you're
No,
the young pup. I
no.
love having you
I
on.
have to. Yeah, I have to tell you the cheeky joke is that I just turned 68 last month. I was 68, but for
That's
some reason
wonderful.
I'm looking forward to 69. I don't know why, but
Oh, okay. Everybody looks forward to 69, Raza, don't they?
what do you mean? What do you mean? And
What do I mean? Innuendo. Oh my God.
whereabouts is your sister, Jennifer?
Okay, so she's in a place called Haybridge Basin and it's near Malden. So if you
All
take the
right.
Thames out to the coast, hang a left, and go up to the first kind of bump, like another river, not the Thames, that's basically Malden, Haybridge Basin, right around there, getting up near Colchester. And she's lived there quite some time. She lived in London for a long time and she's moved out to, I guess, the country these past 6 years, I guess, or something like that. So But, you know, I
Okay.
keep telling her she better sell her house. It's called Haybridge Basin for a reason because, well, there's this nice little seawall that you can bike around, but, you know,
Yeah,
you look on the other side, guess what? You know, the houses are there. So, you
really.
know, the sea is coming up pretty much to the top of that seawall almost. So, you know, I said, you better sell that house before it hits public comprehension and insurance companies aren't, you know, gonna insure you or something like that. You know, you gotta get
Right,
out where the getting's good, you know,
right,
if the getting
right.
is ever gonna be good.
Yeah,
Well,
it's not
Yeah.
so exciting here. UK is very, very, how can I say, we're very laid back, you know. So, oops,
oh
yeah,
no,
we
you're
lost
fine.
Steve.
I play with it.
Yeah,
It's okay.
we just, we just, I don't know how to put it. We're just easygoing, and we just, so it gets a bit, you would say it's a bit dull because, like the weather. But, we don't have all that excitement, all those guns, and all those, rallies and all that
Boy,
stuff you have going on over there.
how
And
embarrassing. Have you ever
Really,
been
I'm
here?
so
I
freaking
know.
ashamed
I'm
of my
telling you.
country.
Have you ever been here, Raza?
your volume is going down and down. I can hardly hear you guys.
Have you ever been here, Raza?
Yeah. No, not yet. Not yet. I thought you were going to invite me, Sandy, but
I've
I'm
invited the
still waiting on
planet.
that.
I mean, as long as you got a tent and you don't mind an outhouse, the planet is invited. I think Jennifer and I are going to take a trip around the world if we ever get it together.
We totally should. We
Oh
should
my
do it while
God.
we still can.
Burn the fossil fuel before you know, before that it's gone. Like, and I always say this, who says that if there's not your ass in the seat, somebody else's is going to be there. That's not really good, though. That's not a good one, but that's a you know who. So,
Right.
questions for Roz. Jennifer, what is like your deepest, darkest Raza question?
Well, Raza, how do you keep coming up with all of those quips and jokes? And you're most entertaining. You just so effusive verbally. So, have you always been kind of funny? You know,
Have I always been funny? You mean funny
yeah.
peculiar or funny
Well, it could be either way,
humorous?
right? Could be peculiar. You could be hilarious. You could be hilariously peculiar.
Yeah.
He is
Taking
Well,
hilariously
I,
peculiar.
I, how can I answer that? What I would say is that I was told that when I was born, I was so ugly that the doctor actually slapped my mother, but I don't know if that's a true story.
Oh my God, we definitely have a good night here. I'm having a great time. But we're not actually
Uh,
talking about the actual reality of the shit that's hitting the fan if it really is. I mean, according to, and I really do want to ask this about Brexit because Umar hates it and a lot of people hate
Yeah.
it. And like the dude that, and I have his name, he doesn't actually have his name in the show notes, but I have his link. They say that Brexit is ridiculous. It was a stupid thing, and it was if you
Yeah.
push the wrong, and the farmers are getting hurt. And now, is it true that the country now has to slaughter pigs just like when they had the disease that was there? Is that true, Roz? Because that's another thing we're seeing, and that tugs at the heartstrings of everyone, especially United States vegan types
yeah,
and all.
I feel I feel like we should do a bit of a Groundhog Day and just start this program over because it's all got kind of here and there. But basically,
It's okay.
let me say that as far as Brexit is concerned, I was against it totally. I wasn't for it at all. I could see that the problems that would loom large if we did go that way, and I was honestly, I was thinking, no, it's not possible that the general public will, the referendum will go in favor of Brexit. I couldn't believe it. I didn't, you know, and I was shocked when they when it went. And the crazy thing was the referendum was like 51%, 49%.
I remember.
Now, to me, that is not democracy. I do. That's just me. I don't know. How other people view this, but I don't consider. 51%, 49%. That's not democracy. You know, that is something else. And I always felt that the referendum, they should have had another referendum whereby they should have waited until they got
Mhm.
over 60% on one side to make it conclusive, and then because I think that's democratic. 60%, 65% are okay. If you've got that many people on board, you can say that, it's fair that they should be represented. But 50-50, I mean, that means if some people were having a bad day and they didn't go to vote, it tipped the whole country upside down. It's
Right?
crazy, I mean, it's just not right. And
Yeah.
they should have had a second referendum, and they should have kind of tried to get a large number of people on board either way. But if it had been, okay, 60-40, I would have said fine. That's fair. But as it is, it was like tossing a coin and just, seeing what happened. And and the public were misinformed. They were, these gentlemen, the blonde-haired guy we got, and
Bored.
and some gentleman called Nigel Farage, who's a bit dubious. And the thing is, these guys they put out a lot of misinformation, and the public didn't have a good they didn't have good grounds on which to vote in a sensible manner, and that was the problem. And now it's going to take time, to if we can get back up, it will take a while. It's not going to happen
Mhm.
overnight. And we got the maths wrong with the lorry drivers. There are definitely problems, but it's super. We're not short of food. Don't send any food parcels over right now. I have some stuff in the freezer, and some tin cans and stuff like that. So don't worry about that. I mean,
Oh, we're gonna
Oh,
do a
no, it's okay.
GoFundMe for you. Oh my. No, seriously. When it's just like when you're in the UK and you read about the United States from all the various sources, and when Jennifer and I do our stories, yes, we pick from the mainstream, but we try to pick from what we think is the most appropriate and factual media.
mhm.
When you look at our media, do you feel that we're mirroring the UK in a way? Is the UK mirroring the United States with the media gunk, garbage, whatever you want to call it?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think the media is in it for the money as well. The media is wherever they get their money. That's who they owe their allegiance to, if you like. Um, and it's only on the. It's like channels like Democracy Now. You get a very. I don't know if you're familiar with that
Oh,
channel.
Mhm.
absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
And the lovely Amy, and I love that channel, and you get a very balanced view. From it's not all about smoke and mirrors on there. It's about how it is, and this thing about sensationalism and selling, airtime, and it's just crazy. I mean, who do you trust? It's getting difficult.
Well, you watch, is there a UK version of Democracy Now?
Uh, I just, I watch the BBC. I prefer the BBC myself, but
Hmm.
the Guardian newspaper is always generally, and the Independent. I think I've always been kind of, a bit careful about what they say.
Oh,
But
really? That's interesting because The Guardian, I see, I'm hearing it from you. So you think the BBC is a bit more trustworthy or better on their facts than the Guardian, or leans a way that doesn't push you to think one thing or another? Just presents.
It all depends. I think when it comes to certain issues, they're just not going to report them. It's like I don't see a lot of the problems we've been having with flash flooding worldwide. There's been a lot of flash flooding, different places. Record events and people killed. And I don't see it in the media. It just you have to go to the web and then look for certain channels which cover those news events. Sorry, the weather events, and then you see it. Otherwise, on the media, it's all being swept under the carpet. A lot of these things, they're avoiding that, to sensationalize climate change and environmental impact of, climate change. And that is also, what we call sins of omission and sins of commission. It's one thing subverting the truth, but the other thing is to leave it out altogether. So there is
That's
that,
true.
And while I have an opportunity, I want to say hi to everybody at Environmental Coffee House, and my favorite moderator is out there, Kim, and we talk sometimes,
That's lovely.
and sometimes she talks and I listen, and sometimes it's the other way around. But and my good
great.
friend Hunter, and all the little coffee drinkers, as I like to say, all the little coffee drinkers not worth mentioning.
Oh no, everybody's worth
No,
mentioning.
I'm kidding. No, they're all great. They're all great. And of course we bump into each other. We're like a family, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
bump into each other
totally.
on other channels, and you see the same faces, the same names certainly. And
We're growing. We're growing a little bit.
and
little bit.
you guys are my heroes. I mean,
Stop.
the Environmental Coffee House team is exactly that. It's a team. You guys are great because you bounce off each other, and so and you don't get into controversy, which is good. And so I love the format of this channel. It's wonderful.
Well, that's really sweet.
And
Thanks.
You, Raza.
yeah,
We're
and it's
very
not
happy
because
to have
it's
you.
well,
Very happy to have you.
yeah, and I can be a bit risque sometimes. That's just me because if you the thing about comedy is you're going to upset somebody, you're going to be offensive to somebody, or somebody's going to get offended. Put it that way. I don't mean to be
Yeah.
offensive, but you offend people.
No, we're
And
not offended.
but then no, not you, but
I
sometimes
know.
you get
I know.
and. But that's the risk, and sometimes I overstep the line, and then Kim comes in very nicely and tells me, "Oh, hush up, dear, hush up." That's
A lot of the stuff we miss because we're actually doing the show. So that's really cute. It's cute to know. It's very
I
cute to
can't
know.
follow I'm not following the chat today, so I don't know what's going on out there.
That's all right. I've got
I
a
have to
few.
catch it.
I have a few to pull up. That I guess I could do it now because Gazer said something interesting, and I thought maybe you could respond to this comment. It was only BP driver shortage, but the media hyped up an end of the world scenario. UK will do just fine after Brexit teething troubles. That's a good one for you to respond to because he's saying, well, it's the beginning of Brexit, like it's just getting used to it. These things won't last. What do you think? Thank you, Gaza.
Okay, well, it's like when if you agitate a body of water, you have to wait for it to calm down again. And that's what Brexit has really agitated, that the status quo when it came to the common, the European Union. And it's going to take a while, for everybody to adjust to it. So it's going to take, we have to give it time, and then we'll see. Obviously, there's going to be some things which are going to be okay and some things which are not, and then they'll have to work it out. I don't know about this magic bullet about, giving 5,000 visas, and they're all going to come, build it and they will come. But
Oh,
apparently
for
only
the
100
workers.
drivers, only 100 drivers applied. And why not? If if people, you're going to invite these people over, come temporarily and help us out, and then we're going to boot you out of the country again.
Yeah.
Don't mind. It's just,
Oh, it's like what
Oh,
we
it's
do to
been,
the Mexican people. Come in and
yeah.
clip our hedges and then get the hell out of here. Jeez.
yeah. And the other thing is that the European drivers, obviously, they were probably paid a bit less, because they're for them,
Okay. Yeah.
their economies are such that whatever they were getting paid here was okay, but
Mm-hmm.
probably they were getting paid less. And the British drivers, they won't stand for that nonsense. They want a proper wage, proper British wage. Otherwise, they're not interested. And so they're going to have to incentivize the lorry drivers, and they're going to have to get them trained up quick. And what I love is, they get the army in, to save the capitalist infrastructure. You must get the call out, call out the troops. And it, if they only had this enthusiasm for calling out the army to fix some of these environmental crises, that would be wonderful. But I don't know if that's ever going to happen.
You want
Whether
to
they're going
talk
to,
about a
you know.
few of those in the UK that are prescient issues?
Yeah, I'm very disappointed because I'm not hearing you very well. And
Any prescient environmental issues you think that you know are noteworthy to talk about tonight, that you'd like to see in your country?
I wanted to talk about a few things. Yeah, one of the things was I was pondering. I like to ponder. It's something I do. It's not illegal. It's okay to have a good ponder once in a while. I don't know what's
Wander
happening
away.
about. What do you? I don't know. I think we think differently on different lines. Maybe it's a cultural thing. Pondering is it's quite okay. Pondering.
Yes.
We often have a ponder.
I ponder all day.
Now,
Jennifer, how are you? How about you? Do you ponder on your
I,
oh, I
break
don't
time?
I
doubt
I
it.
am definitely a ponderer. I ponder and ponder all the time. Yes.
Yes.
You know,
I think that's
and
kind of
and I was
like
pondering
there's
and
Ponder
contemplating,
coffee house.
and basically, I was looking at the size of colonies and herds and colonies, like, colonies of bees, colonies of termites, colonies of ants, or herds of wildebeest and herds of reindeer. And the reason I was looking at that was that, there is a limitation. These herds and these colonies, they have a limit. They have a sustainable limit. Nature has, a sustainable limit, and it's it's commonplace to see that in nature, but with human beings it's like, what is it? I think the biggest reindeer herd is about 1 million. I think there was 1 million reindeer get together sometimes in a herd. And and I was comparing I was trying to compare this with human beings. I want to kind of segue quickly into something called the Georgia Guidestones, which is something you have
oh
over in
yes.
Georgia. It's like a monument,
Yes.
and
Yes. I know about those.
yeah, some crank basically had put up these small, blocks of stone, and they put some inscriptions, and they have like 12 commandments for the ideal
Mhm.
society, and how it should go, and
They also have a
one of the
population
rules
cap.
one of the rules for an ideal society is like half a billion, maximum half a billion population. So the world population, global population, should not be more than half a billion. Now the problem is, if you look at India, where they've got, you know, you've got 1 billion there, okay, already, and the global population, as we know, is about coming up to 8 billion now. So if the ideal is half a billion and we're on 8 billion already, that's 16 times, more than it should be if you think that's true. And
Yeah.
it's very much a numbers game. I think, at some stage we let it run riot. We let this global population run riot, and now it's too late. The horse has bolted, as it were, and what can you do now? Um, and I'm
Actually,
going to kind
that's
of deviate
interesting.
quickly again.
Okay.
And what I'm going to say is that me personally, I think that fossil fuels, nuclear energy, uh, natural gas, all these things, plastics, are wonderful, technologies. They're beautiful technologies. They're great. They're wonderful if we had ever used them responsibly. It's like anything else. These are all tools, available to us. But if we use them wisely, then it's okay. But if you use them, if you abuse them, or you use them too much in a reckless way, then they become a problem. Okay, which they have, and which they will continue to do. Um, so technology, I'm not against technology. We are tool users. We are tool, we love using tools and inventing tools. It's always been the way. But fossil fuels and nuclear energy is nothing wrong with it. If there was a small population, if you have a small population, you're using that technology well and wisely, so that you can always, you can, and if there is any damage, you can do something about it. You can adjust it. So there's nothing wrong with that. But with so many people 8 billion people using nuclear fuel, and
Yeah.
8 billion people using fossil fuels, and 8 billion people using plastics, and and then discarding it all, without any concern for the environment. Obviously, that's going to cause, problems. And so that's the real issue. I think it's a numbers game gone wrong, and there's no easy solution.
Can we segue that back to the supply shortages? Yes, it's lorry drivers and all, but yet, do you think there is a problem with population in the UK that might be part of the driver of shortages or in the future, or is it purely political?
Yeah, I think we have to keep the two things. I don't see, I mean, really, I don't want to mix up the two things.
Okay.
I know the theme today is the problems, in the UK at the moment, and how far they kind of are global, I don't know. But we don't live in a vacuum. Everything, we
That's
affect each
right.
other, don't we? So, something that affects us is going to affect you guys sooner or later. Um, but what else? Greta. Now, Greta, she's a wonderful mouthpiece for the problems that we're in. But at the same time, it's a very, how can I say? It's very, in a way, Greta is her message is a bit infantile and a bit, it's very, very important. I'm not saying that, right? But what I'm saying is she's not kind of seeing the big picture, the problems, that we have, and which cannot be, put right overnight. And you can't just stop everything. It's like it's like my, I have two heroes at the moment, apart from yourselves, but I have two heroes, which are Dr. Macpherson, and the other one is Dr. Peterson, Jordan Peterson. Jordan Peterson, because I just think he makes sense, and he's also kind of he's also he has an uphill climb, and the same with Dr. Guy, Macpherson. He's definitely he's very brave. The guy I just like the fact he's so brave, and and what he's saying is slowly coming true. And well, these guys really, do have their finger on the pulse. I think, as far as the situation with Jordan, it's more about cultural things and academic things, and how academia is doing at the moment, and how we've got these extremist groups. In the universities, you've got these extremist groups like the radical left, and they're kind of they're pushing their agendas, and maybe that's not necessarily healthy for academia as a whole. And I understand that and appreciate that. It's all very
Is
well
that in
being
the
diverse.
UK? Is that in the UK that he's speaking of? Jordan Peterson, or is he Canadian? He's Canadian?
Did you say that? Say that again,
Is he
please.
Canadian? Jordan Peterson. I forgot if he's Canadian or if he's from the UK.
Oh, Jordan Peterson. He's Canadian, but yeah,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
probably maybe from United Kingdom, but he's Canadian.
Okay.
Um, and there was a big issue that it was a freedom of speech issue, because in Canada they wanted to make it legal, that you had to say there were certain gender pronouns that you had to use. They said you have to use these gender pronouns. And Jordan Peterson said, "Well, that's not freedom of speech. That's wrong." And then there was a big kerfuffle about it, and I think he
There
actually
was.
won. And
Kerfluffle.
sorry, kerfuffle.
The kerfluffle. Yes. I'm
You
not
use
sure
that
I'm
word?
100% with Dr. Peterson on everything. I've listened to him, but I respect that you are talking about him and your feelings on what he talks about. That's great.
Yeah, I'm struggling to hear what you're saying, but
Am I talking loud enough, Jen?
no, you're talking.
No,
Yeah,
no,
you're
you
talking
are.
loud enough your end, but it's
Okay.
for some reason it's not. I'm not getting the
All
volume
right.
here.
All right. We have Andy the gardener here, and I asked him if he wants a link. He's also from the UK, and so is Nostradamus. All of a sudden, it's UK night. Everybody stayed up for the show. Andy, would you like
Oh,
to
by the
join? He
way,
won't.
yeah, you said
Yes,
you were going to have a special guest. Where
you
who's this?
are the special guest,
Me?
silly.
You
Oh
are the
no,
special guest.
no!
Yes.
Don't tell me.
Yes.
Yes.
It
Why
was.
do you
And I'll
do
be.
you? Oh, you know what? Then I guess that if you're the special guest, you didn't know it. You get the flush. You get the flush. Come on, Andy. I'll send you a link. I don't think Andy's going to come on. Uh-uh. That would be an interesting to put Andy in with the three of us. Well, he won't, but I made the offer. I made the offer.
Oh, I found the volume.
You
Oh,
found the
thank the
phone.
Lord.
Oh, you know what? I needed
You
this.
can
I
hear
needed to
us
have fun on a
now.
Friday. We really needed to have kind of like a fun Friday, even though we're talking about a serious subject, which was
Yeah.
starting out as, and we do
Well,
have the
now that
Umer
you can
Hake.
hear us, let's have a little conversation, because Brexit to me seems like kind of a microcosm of the chain reaction of the we are so fucked of affairs, right? So in Brexit, the lorry driver doesn't, they're not there, so the food doesn't get there, and then all of a sudden you have a food shortage, not because that there's no food, but it just isn't all happening. But we're so dependent on the chain of events happening perfectly all the time. And I was wondering if that's kind of what you were thinking too a little bit, Raza, when you were seeing the petrol lines, the lorry problems, the lack of carbon dioxide, oddly enough. Oh, and it's just you and me.
Okay,
Um,
I can live with that.
I think Sandy just bowed out or something. I'm not exactly sure, but so does is that one of the things that you think about, like the very delicate nature of the chain of events, um, that kind of keeps our society together?
Well, it doesn't take much, yeah, to upset the barrel, if that's what you're saying. But
Right.
I said at the moment it's much ado about nothing because it will gradually, they will address the situation. They'll have to incentivize, lorry drivers to, and it takes time. The thing with lorry driving, you can't just, expect lorry drivers to train in 5 minutes. Lorry driving
Right.
is a very responsible profession, and it takes a while to train up lorry drivers. So it's going to take a while to train up the locals. Then they've got to incentivize the locals. They've got to pay them, a fair wage for, for driving the lorries, and maybe in the meantime try to get, but there's a shortage. You see, there's a European shortage anyway of
Mm.
labour and of and in particular lorry drivers, and so I think it's Germany and France, are quite happy to take up the surplus. So
Mm.
it's not going to be simple, and I don't know how long the army is going to kind of come in and help out. I
Mm.
suppose they have no choice. That if they have to do it for a while, they'll have to. It's not very clear, the picture is a bit muddy at the moment. I think
Mhm.
I don't see a clear plan really. That's what I'm saying. I don't see a clear route out of this right now. But I'm sure it will, the problem will have to be addressed. This is what I was saying about the infrastructure of capitalism. When it's got anything to do with money and product and industry, these things, they do go top of the list, Whereas environment, that goes right down to the bottom of the heap.
Oh, always
I suppose,
does.
one of
Always
the things,
does.
the way I see it, Jenny, is that if I can call you Jenny, I mean, you don't mind that.
Please do.
Um,
Please call me Jenny.
okay. What about
I love it.
Jen?
Jen is
Jen,
good.
is that Jen?
Jenny is good. Whatever you wish.
What about what about Jay?
Maybe a little bit more. Well, you could call me Jay if you wish. There
Okay,
used
I
to
was
be
just
J
pulling your leg.
Lo.
I
Do
was
you
just
remember? Do you remember J Lo? Right, Jennifer
J Lo.
Lopez.
Yeah, yeah,
Right. Well, I'm
yeah.
Jay
That's awful. I
High.
never liked that. Yeah, they do all that. I know. I never liked it, to be honest with you. J Lo
Well,
and
if you want to call
Bojo,
me Jay, you can call me
Bojo.
Jay
No,
High.
I was teasing
Jennifer
you.
Hynes.
Yeah, yeah. Jenny is nice. Yeah, Jenny. So what I was saying was, it's gonna take time to fix. And as I said, the wonderful thing is that if it comes to the environment, that's not important. What I'm saying, yeah, the point that I was trying to get across before was that people, generally speaking, and and politicians too, they live for the short term. That we all live for the short term goals. Everybody does. I mean, we all live for the short term goals. And the man in the street, the person who's trying to feed his kids, whether it's in Africa, whether it's in Europe, whether it's, sending your kids to school. Those short term goals is what people don't understand about. If you given the choice, if you say to me, either feed your kids today or go and, drop everything and go and look after the environment, uh, because this is going to happen 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years down the line, so you need to do that instead. It's a no-brainer. People are not going to stop feeding their kids, to look after the planet for what's going to happen after 50 years.
Yeah,
Am I
that's
getting my
true.
point? Do I? I'm not
Absolutely.
sure if I'm making myself
Absolutely.
clear. It's
No,
like,
you
and
are.
that's the situation. And that's what I was saying about the numbers game. People, your man on the street, your average person, be it in China, be it in Argentina, or be it in Greenland, they're so tied up to their short-term goals, either just putting food on the table. It's not that they don't care about the planet. We all care about every rational person, every sensible person does care about the environment, and they do care about the planet, right? But they are, you cannot ask them to drop everything, and walk away from their families and start looking after the planet. I'm,
Right. Well,
making a very broad point, and I'm making it in a very dramatic way. But what I'm saying is, you can't just ask people, oh, you'll forget about your family, go and look after the planet. Go and put the fires out in California. Leave the family here; they'll be okay. Go and become a fireman and put out the fires. Or go and So it's not practical. So,
no,
and that
it is.
is the crux of the situation, and that's why nothing is getting done, and nothing is going to get done in time. We just don't have time now. If this, if this had been planned out a bit better and done many, all we ever hear is, if we act now, if we act now. This act now business has been going on for how long? Greta is
Oh,
right that way. The blah blah
right.
blah has been going on for. It just go, and it continues to
It
go
has
on
been a
because.
lot of blah, 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 blah. I agree
And
completely.
what I didn't point out was, that there's two things. Politicians, have short-term goals, yeah, because they're only worried about for how long they're in office for. They've got that
Mm.
block, with the office, that they've got to look good while they're doing their 4-year stint or whatever it is, yeah. Okay, however long they've got left. So they're mostly worried about covering their asses for 4 years, yeah, or whatever. And the other thing is that governments are there to look after the infrastructure of the electorate, of the people who elected them. So what I'm saying is that they're supposed to look after, the United Kingdom government is supposed to look after the United Kingdom. Okay, they're not worried about what's happening in Antarctica. Really, that's not the issue. They're not getting
That's
paid.
true.
What I'm saying is, they're not getting paid. It's not their mandate to look after people, halfway across the world, or environmental issues halfway across the world. Or global. They're not elected to look after global issues. I, I don't, that to me, that's the way I look at it anyway. That's not what they're paid to do. They don't
Hmm.
even see that as their job. They should. We all live on one planet, and we're all a collective as humanity, and we should all be worried about what's going to happen down the line. But everybody's got this short-term mentality, so short-term
Sure.
goals, and
Yeah. We're not designed to be kind of these open, multi-dimensional, altruistic beings. At our root, we're kind of selfish, and it's our human nature. It's just our nature.
yeah,
It's difficult for someone to ask us to be different than we are, because we are who we are, and we're primarily, I mean, there's love, but there's fear, and I would say we have more fear than love. Hence, all the decisions we make are filtered through the fear filter. And we've been way too successful, and we're breeding ourselves out of existence. So that's the
yeah,
problem. We've really
yeah,
bred ourselves out of existence, and we don't have the child mortality anymore, that we used to have as a human species, right? And we're just too damn successful, and we're too selfish, and we're just like, all the charts are exponential in nature, no matter what type of chart you look at, population, climate, anything.
no.
Hello, Sandy.
I thought I upset you. Did I upset you, Sandy?
No,
What did I
we
do?
consume. I don't have to be on the screen the whole time. You guys are having a great conversation. I'm just running the show, trying to get Andy to come on.
Yeah.
No, it was
I'm just
wonderful.
talk.
It's
I'm just talking as
consumption.
much as I'm talking as
Consumption.
much as possible. I'm trying to get in I'm trying to cover everything today because it might be my only opportunity. So that's
Oh,
why I
don't
want to fit it
say
all in
that.
now.
That doesn't
Yeah.
know. We like having you. We were jumping
And I'm
around because I was trying to make the connection between what our topic was and then where you were going, see if there was a connection. That was the jump around. It's the way my mind works.
So
and
Raza,
then but
ultimately, do you think that back to Brexit in the UK, do you think that Britain is just going through adjustment and growing pains or whatever about Brexit and it may normalize? Or do you think that this is really kind of the beginning of the end and they made a fatally wrong move and they're going to go down the toilet? Which is it? Or is it a blend of it? Both?
Good question.
Yeah, that's a fair question. That's a very good question, and you're asking it to the wrong person because I, I'm not really, I'm politics. I detest politics. I don't follow politics. I'm not interested in it. I'm not. What I'm coming to say is, I really, local issues, topical issues. I don't really, they don't really they don't grab me, and I don't really go into the nitty gritty of, and the analysis of every small detail of what's happening in the UK or what's happening in Europe or what's happening in America. Although in America it's good because it's like a soap opera, with people like Trump. No, I didn't mean
Oh,
it
it's
that way,
very
Sandy. What I meant
entertaining, isn't
was,
it?
I meant it's a soap opera.
It's true.
It's because
Shameful.
of people, because of people like Donald Trump. Because he was,
Yes.
he
The
was
clown
media, he was
car.
TV, he was television and Mr. TV, and he ran the country. He tried to run the country. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired.
Only he didn't
Anybody?
fire anybody. He had people do it for him. He fired a
Yeah,
lot of people, but he had people do it for him. He didn't
yeah,
really do
and
it.
a lot of people, but a lot of people, and that was, how his show ran. And the thing is, it's not a show. It's not a show. It's, it's much much more serious than television. And
Wouldn't say that's nihilism. Oh, I'm sorry. I had a comment that was up from environmentalists that we can talk about that afterwards. Keep going, Roz.
yeah. And I don't want to make light of what Jennifer was saying. Yeah, it was a very fair question, and I said I'm not. Maybe you're not going to get a great answer out of me, but it could go either way. I think I agree with you that the possibility is there. It could go either way. It could go well. It could go badly. You know, it's a bit early at the moment. You'd have to ask me again in about 6 months, I think. Then, right now, it's not looking good. I don't know if we're going to have enough turkey. What you guys could do is send us over some more turkeys from the US. If we can't get them in the shops, then you know,
Gobble, gobble.
I don't know. Donate a turkey to a Brit, or something. We should start a campaign. Yeah.
I don't know if our vegan friends would like that. I don't know if I would like that. Donate a turkey. How
Well,
about
send
tofurkey?
how about a vegan turkey? Send a
We'll
vegan
send you
turkey. I don't mind.
tofurkey. We'll send you to tofurkey. Um, actually, there was a couple of comments before we go on, but there was okay. This is a really important one. Very important. This is from a hunter. Raza, who's your football team?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't actually follow football, to be honest with you, Hunter. I'm not. I never. Sports is
Bad.
another thing that I've never understood. Sport. Well, I used to, when I was at college, I used to play badminton, which was the thing, and but I never. I had a bad experience when I was a kid. I was a very small, very diminutive, very small child, and very timid and very shy. You know, oh, you could tell that even today. Um, but I got. We used to have these huge footballs. They were big leather footballs, and they were covered in mud, and they were wet. And one day, somebody kicked this football at me, and it hit me right in the stomach. And I got winded. When you lose your
Mm-hmm.
breath because you get hit in
Sure.
the stomach or punched in the. And this huge, horrible, muddy football hit me in the stomach, and I never liked football after that. And I've not
Oh,
been, I've not been I'm not one who. I'm not. In a way, I'm a bit asocial. I mean, I tend to like, my solitude and my privacy. Um, I like. quite often when I'm at home, I like the silence. I just love the silence. It's something. I think I'm very, very
Me too.
susceptible to when I go outside. I get inundated, by all this stuff. Everywhere you look outside, it's all about buy this, buy that, do this, do that, go and see this movie.
That's
You have to, you have to buy this, buy this iPhone product, and you know, not that I'm saying anything against iPhone products, but you got to buy this, you got to buy that, and they're coming out with stuff that I never knew I needed. I just bought something. I bought a Nespresso machine, and I'm just wondering how did I get to this age, without an espresso machine? An
all
espresso
right.
machine. How is it possible? And nobody even
Uh,
told me. I just saw one
you
somewhere.
just
I
you
saw.
needed it.
I do voluntary gardening. I because I'm retired. I do voluntary gardening in the community. There was a big tower
That's
block in West
beautiful.
London.
That's awesome.
There's a Well, I don't like to ring my bell, but what I'm saying is that there's a big tower block in that used to be in West London, and it burnt down. I don't know if you know, it was a big one. There was
Oh,
the Grenfell Tower. It was a
I do
huge
remember
tower that
that.
came.
Yeah.
Yes, that was in 2017, I believe, around June.
Yeah, and that was horrific, and there was a lot of people killed in that, and children, and it was horrible. And what they did after that fire, they wanted to, they had to revamp the community, kind of get the community to get to pull together again, and revive the community. So that they've got a lot of gardening projects out there, and I work for the community garden out there a few days a week,
Nice.
and that's why I'm tired. That's why. I used to come on the shows before, but since I started this project, gardening project over there, I'm so tired. I can't stay up, to 2 o'clock in the morning. And the thing about ECH is it's so, US centric. It's you don't worry about us Europeans. We're human. We are human beings too.
We're trying to
Oh,
We
worry
we
have,
about you tonight.
do.
and
We do.
we I love this program, and then but I used to be able to stay up late sometimes, compromise and duck and dive. But now when I go, I'm so tired, after coming back from gardening, and it's an hour to get there, hour to get back, and I just don't have the energy, to stay up till 2 o'clock in the morning and see my favorite ladies, but and my favorite guys, of course, Antonio and there's somebody I was seeing recently. Is it? He's the other guy,
Nicholas,
Jim, isn't
because
it?
Nick is doing his
Nicholas. Nick.
PhD. I want to come in with a comment really quick from Kameshwari Kate because it goes back to what you were saying. She does permaculture projects in neglected urban spaces, which is really cool. I know Kate from other different chats, and we circle around the same kind of groups, and she's really wonderful, and I'm really happy she's here. Hi, Kate,
Yeah.
because we know gardening and growing food is life, and all of the positive things, those are great things, all of those things that make life better on a daily basis.
Yeah. And I know you're a very keen gardener as well, Sandy. You know,
Yeah,
and I'm very impressed by your tomatoes. Your tomatoes are something. Just
I still got
they're amazing.
tomatoes. Oh my god, I still
Yeah.
have more. There it's I did too many
Great
tomatoes.
tomatoes.
Too many
Great.
tomatoes. Too many,
Yeah.
too many, too many.
Would you
So
say you had? What are they? Beef tomatoes?
oh, I have different ones: Romas, cherries, the
Yeah.
beefsteak tomatoes, and then there's even a new one. I don't even know what it's called, but it has ripples in it. And it's not because it's icky; it's the way it grows. They're just interesting. All these different species of, or put-togethers or whatever of seeds. I mean, it is what we have to do. You growing food, acclimating, but trying to strive for something different and better through these things for the like I have a
Yeah.
kid, so I think about her and wanting to give her the wisdom, although I don't think she wants to take it. But do you have any
Yeah.
children, Raza?
I have two. I have a son and a daughter,
Oh, they're
and
all
I
grown up.
I am a grandfather. Okay. Um, it might not appear that way, but I am. Yeah, I'm granddad. And I saw a picture of you, Sandy, with your daughter,
Mm-hmm.
and I think I left a comment that you do look like sisters. Obviously, you look like the older sister,
Very
but
much. 29 years older.
Jenny, do you have kids,
No, I
Jennifer?
am a non-breeder.
As my
You're a
I did
daughter.
non-breeder.
not
Okay.
I did not
That's my
breed.
All
daughter.
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's not the breeder. And everybody knows my story. I say it
Well,
every time.
okay.
Mom, I'm not a
You know,
breeder. Yeah.
it's not for everybody. I mean, and
God, no.
but
No.
perhaps you
But
have
we
sisters.
have
But do you have
children.
Jenny? Do you have sisters and brothers? Sisters and brothers?
I have
Well,
a
her sister in the
sister
UK.
in England, but she is also a non-breeder. So the Hynes
Okay.
line stops here. It's
But
done.
there's always the ketchup. Okay, that sounded like Raza. Boom, boom. There's always the ketchup. Oh.
Ketchup.
Yeah, in the United
Yeah.
States, we have a line of Heinz ketchup. But we've got Jay High right here with us. I love that one. I definitely love
Yeah.
that one. I'm going to give that one applause. Jay High! Yes! I love that one. So what's going on out there in the chat, everybody? Bim Jim, he misses the flavor of parsnips. We went all around the world tonight. This has been a goofy Friday. We've been
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Brexit,
I
Texit.
apologize. Yeah.
Why do you
And
apologize?
anyway, there was one, and I'd like to leave it on a high, if possible.
Jay
Um,
High.
no, a high. High.
Hi.
Not that. No, not that kind of high. I meant a high. But
Huh?
Jenny, I don't know, for some reason I want to address this to Jenny, but
Okay.
this business of, as humans, we've messed up big time, and there are two things, but there's two things I want to bring out of it. One is that, I mean, this is my personal spirituality. We've all come from, the cosmos, the universe. We're children, of the sun, or whatever you like. Put it any way you want. But we've all come out, and we've emerged, out of evolution. We evolved. Now, I'm not going to carry the can for that. I'm not. I'm sorry. This is the best evolution could do. With humans. And if it wasn't good enough, we haven't got time. And sadly, we haven't got time to evolve any better right now. Maybe we'll get an opportunity. I don't know. If people, if we continue, if we manage to continue, perhaps we can evolve. Better and more responsible and more loving towards our planet and nature and other life forms, and I hope that's my hope today. But it's also possible we don't get that opportunity, but is it really what I'm coming to say is blame. I think blaming is a very useless, is an awful concept. Blame is just useless, and it's a terrible thing. Blame is it's just I don't know how you
No.
can what, because ultimately we this is the best we could be, put it that way. I'm sure we could be better, but we
Oh,
need
I think we
time.
could be a lot
You
better.
can't be better. We can't be better overnight. We could evolve out of this, and we could become a more superior being. But at the moment, this is what we have to work with, and that's not down to me. That was how the universe is set up. Maybe. Something I was thinking the other day. It's a crazy. I have these crazy ideas. You wouldn't believe that. I do have some crazy ideas.
We wouldn't
See,
believe
look,
it.
Sandy, she can't believe it. But one of these crazy ideas is that out there in the cosmos, there are probably civilizations going extinct every day. Well, we're sitting
Oh
here because
yes.
we don't know. We
Oh
don't know what's
yes.
happening across the universe, and maybe there are civilizations, going. There are thousands of civilizations going the same way we're going, and so it's that we're not alone. Actually, maybe we're more common than we
Yeah.
think, and
Yeah.
it's possible. How wide? If the universe is infinite, which
True.
it is infinite.
True.
Everything's possible. So there could be lots
Mhm.
of successful civilizations that could have, well evolved, and there could also be duffers like us, or duffers like you,
Yes, we're the
and
we're in the duffer club, definitely duffer.
yeah, but possibly, it's not game over. Maybe we can evolve out of this. If there are hopefully there are some people will survive, and if they do, at least they can look back and say, oh well, we really fucked up, here and there, and then
And
they
there's
could.
people with plans that are sophisticated plans, like Adam Soul, and he's been working on his post-collapse society plan. And Gary Ballard. I mean, there's a lot of people with amazing things that see that it's possible that there will be some society left, but it will have to be dramatically different. Dramatically different.
Mhm.
I want to flesh out and examine some of those. I think it'll be kind of interesting.
And there is a very small possibility that my hero, the other hero I have, is Elon Musk. Now, it was Stephen Hawking. You know, the Stephen Hawking, the great British
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
professor.
Oh,
Who was a very brave, the bravest man I know. I think the guy was in a wheelchair for most of his life, but he was brilliant. And he said that it will be good for humans because they're far thinking. These people are very far seeing and far thinking, and he said that it will be good for us to become interplanetary, or to reach out to space and colonize space because of situations like exactly the situation that we're facing now. Now, whether Elon Musk has enough time to see his vision come true and set up a colony on Mars. So this is what we've come to. We're going to a desert planet and leaving this paradise. We're leaving a paradise behind to go
Not
to a
we, babe.
desert planet.
They. A
Huh?
few. Not we. They. If
Okay,
anything,
whoever.
they are doing it. It happens. There are a 1%, very few. But Elon Musk he is quite a character, and they're. Listen, I watched going back to comedy. I can't help it. I was watching a comic. I think it was Saturday Night Live, but it was YouTube, on the three of them: Richard Branson, Elon Musk, and Bezos. And it was hilarious. I can't talk about this seriously without going back to how it seems like the absurd, like you just said. We're going to to a dust bowl from this. Are we making this a dust bowl? But I can't help to see the comedic absurdity of it. And I guess Saturday Night Live had a clip that was exactly how I would think about it. I'm sorry. It's Friday.
Yeah,
I've
but
had a long
it,
week.
there is a very, very slim chance, there's a slim possibility that they could, we could end up living out in space, on the moon, or on Mars, or maybe a moon or somewhere of some. What's this? In an alternate.
We've got some funny people in the audience too. I'll read it.
Look, I do have hair. I've got hair. It's just that I choose not to because I wear hats. I love hats. I don't know if I can show you. Look, I'll try and show you my hats if I can.
Hey, Raza, you
see
gotta
what-
dish it out and take it too.
No,
look
no,
at the hats!
look. Now, all
Look
of
at the
those, there's about
hats.
3 or 4 hats on each one. I love hats. And
Oh, that's awesome.
I
So
don't
you
get an
shave your
opportunity
head?
to. Oh, hold on. Here's a nice one. I'll wear this
Oh,
one for now.
ooh, look at
This is
this.
quite a good one. Yeah, this is
Boy,
stylish. This is
what a way to change the conversation into
my,
something silly
my,
Friday night.
my father used to wear a hat. He was a tailor. He used to wear a hat. He was very smart. And I picked up a lot of pointers from him. But in those days, it was quite common in America. The guys used to go, they wouldn't go anywhere without a hat, and now you wear baseball caps, which I can't stand. I can't. They don't look good on me. I can't carry that baseball look.
Yeah, but you
baseball
look
hat look.
stylish. Jennifer and I like to have our hat night shows.
Yeah,
We have
every so often.
and
Maybe
Halloween's
we
coming
should
up.
break out for Halloween. Maybe
Yeah.
we should put
Oh,
witch
we
hats on.
We will. Oh,
I have
Absolutely.
three
Yeah.
different witch hats.
I
I
I'm
think
gonna have to find
women
one.
look very chic. I think women look chic in hats. When they had that Royal Ascot, Audrey Hepburn.
I
Was
wear
it Audrey
hats.
Hepburn? Yeah.
I wear hats.
Oh, yeah.
I wear
And
big flappy gardening hats and all
yeah.
different baseball hats. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a good look if you can carry it off. And
Oh, I don't know if I'm
what
carrying it off. I'm only in my yard.
and well, I wear them in the garden as well. I have my garden hats, and this is a rain hat, but
If you can't fight, wear a big hat. Thanks, Gazer.
now what I, the reason is that's why I don't grow my hair because it's gone. It's not hair anymore. It's silk. It's like silk or wool, and if I wear a hat, it gets all crushed down and it looks awful. So I've decided to go with a clean look now. But even to be honest with you, I don't know that the looking bald is good for me. I don't know. I don't think some people look good. Yul Brynner, he was great bald. Or
Oh,
there are some
Yul
people.
Brynner.
When they was it The Rock? The Rock, he can carry it off. The bald look. It doesn't work on women so well. I notice. There are some women who have. Sinead O'Connor, she used to look all right, as a bald
We
woman.
went Brexit to hats. Brexit to hats.
Yeah. Well,
Wow.
that's the ideal program, from
Yes,
the
what's Friday?
from the sublime to the ridiculous. I mean, that's a good balance, isn't it?
Yes. Believe me, I can be
And
ridiculous.
I've enjoyed it, even though I wasn't able to hear you for a while there. I
Yeah,
can hear
that's
you
what
now.
happened. I think that you missed some of Jennifer's conversation, and I think that was what happened in the beginning too.
And then right, so we covered quite a lot of ground. So that's
Yeah.
yeah. So I don't know that we should take the blame wholeheartedly. This is the best nature could do with us, and
Yeah.
in fact, Jenny. Sometimes I say to myself, well, look, nobody asked me if I wanted to be born. Now they're telling me I'm going to go extinct. Somewhere along the line, I've been cheated out of something. Somebody's cheated me. In this
No,
situation.
the
Because-
kids are getting cheated. The kids are
Yeah.
getting cheated.
Oh,
I
that's
mean, that's who's
true.
getting
Well,
cheated, and that's why I can't be completely 100% like, we are so fucked without it just being a joke because I do have that feeling that fight, fight, fight. That there has to be activism and fighting till the very end, if there is a very end. Like you said, Raza, there's pockets that could go on. Who knows? Maybe these 1% assholes will be able to colonize something, but how long would that be?
I think he's my hero. Elon is, he's visionary. That guy is. He's not playing around. He's not playing toy shops. He's churning out rockets. Like a supermarket, like a one of those factories. And the other guys are jokers. The Brit guy and then this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hunter says, "Show us the tinfoil hat."
Bezos and Branson, they're
Yeah.
they're the weirdos, but they're just in it for the money. Those guys are just in it for the money. They just want to do it as a. But
A thing.
Elon is a visionary. He's got a vision, and he's like the space Noah. He's like the Noah of space. He's almost like a prophet or something. I don't know. But
I don't know, Andy.
Yeah, but-
Let's see if the comment comes up. Andy said, "Oh, I missed it. Where did I?" Andy said, "Elon Musk is a complete moron." Everybody has an opinion.
okay, yeah, he's a complete moron, but he's getting things done. He's a moron with a vision. He's a moron who's getting stuff done. And are we not morons? we've let it
You know
come to
what?
this, and
Jennifer once said that Elon Musk has goals. And that's really what it is. It's goals. He's got goals and he's attaining them. He's trying to attain them. Just like Greta has goals. And young people, the Sunrise Movement, they have goals. And as long as you have some goals, I think that's a very good way of spending your time on this planet. Goals that are
yeah, I
positive,
mean,
not goals that are horrible, like the idiots on January 6th in our capital. Those are not good goals.
yeah.
No.
Greta is getting a wonderful message out there. I love her passion, and I love that
Yeah.
she's young and she's passionate, and she's inspiring the youth as well. Uh, but on the other hand, there must be a lot of youth depression. They say there's a lot of youth anxiety. There's the young people are very anxious. They're also suffering from depression, and they're thinking, what should I do? I think one of the things that comes out is that they're probably very confused. What do I do? Go all hedonistic, and go back to flower power and smoking big reefers and whatever it is that they used to do. And I missed that. I missed all the good stuff. I missed Woodstock. I don't know what happens. I missed out on all the good things. And I
You
wasn't
you
born
know
in
what?
Hollywood.
You missed out on Woodstock, but wasn't there anything in the UK that you went to that was noteworthy? You've been living there so long. Some kind of musical
Oh
event you
yeah,
could tell us about? Well, maybe you
yeah.
didn't miss out.
Led Zeppelin. I love
See?
Pink Floyd.
And you
I
saw
saw
them?
Oh,
Pink Floyd
yeah.
actually.
All
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. I
right.
saw them, but I saw them out in the Middle East. It was in Dubai, and
Oh,
Wow.
it
really?
was amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you didn't miss
Roger, Wa-
out.
it wasn't actually Pink Floyd. It was Roger Waters because they had kind of split up a bit, and it was Roger Waters.
Mm.
It was back in about 2003, I think, or 2002. It was a while back now. Um, but I'm in a stage where I'm too old to rock and roll, and was it? No, how does that saying go? Too old for rock and roll, but too young to die.
And too young
One
to
one of
die.
those things. And
Too young
anyway, I just want
to
to say, if
die.
while I have the opportunity, it's been great to, kind of finally get onto a serious, me on a serious program.
This has been, we're just going. However long this show goes tonight, it doesn't matter. We are free.
No, but
We're
what?
with you, we're with the chat. It's basically Friday Night Live. Just have fun.
And yeah, and then one of the hopes, I was again to Jennifer, I want to address this, is that I was talking about, you know, they're not carrying the blame, for all this, and this is the way it is. What can I do?
Right.
This is the way the cosmos works, right? Okay, it works or it doesn't work. God bless the cosmos. That's what I say. I think it's the old saying is, the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. And I say the same about the cosmos. The cosmos giveth and the cosmos taketh away. But blessed be the name of the cosmos. Um, what I was saying is that if we do have to go down the tubes, what my hope is that this last time we truly come together as human beings, we are truly there for each other, that we should love each other. Maybe, for this is our last opportunity to do what's right and to
Yeah.
support each other through this and, be loving, be compassionate, be tolerant, that's the kind of message that Guy McPherson, he also, he says,
Yeah.
at the edge of extinction, only love remains, and I hope
True.
that comes true. That only love will remain. And maybe this is the if we're gonna go, let's go with a bang. Let's really love the hell out of each other and support each other and be good to each other. And I don't want to be in a stage where I don't want to be in the future and have to eat some of you people. It would be not nice. I think that would be really rock bottom if um
That would be
that,
rock bottom. I agree with you. Definitely
yeah,
rock
yeah,
bottom.
yeah. I'd rather.
No
I think
Donner
I'd rather.
Party situations, please.
No. I
Sorry.
was looking for a Carl
It's
Sagan
an
quote that
American
I saw.
reference.
Tell him about it.
It was the Donner Party were crossing, weren't they crossing the Sierras, Sandy?
Yes.
They got stuck in the Sierras, right?
Yep.
And
Yep. I'm
this
looking for.
was back in the pioneer days. I don't know how many people there were in their party, but they got into a bind, really bad bind, and they ended up resorting to cannibalism.
Yeah, it's a real big. It's a big story that happened in the United. In this, it was the wilderness, and they were trying to go west, and yeah, it was icky.
Yeah,
We don't want
they
to
were
be
going
that.
west and they got caught in the Sierras. I think it was winter was setting in or something like that. And they only had their little wagon train, right? And they were called the Donner Party. So that's that's a little bit of Americana for you, Raza.
Well, I
Well, I think people started out. I think the cavemen, if you go right back, I think it was quite popular to be cannibalistic then, especially if it
Yes.
was like if it was the enemy, like capturing the enemy and then eating them, that wasn't so
Well,
bad.
not only eat them, but chop their head off and get a collection. That was very popular as well.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Oh, you've been to some dark places, Jenny. You don't look like that. You look all twee, and butter wouldn't melt in her mouth. But now she's coming out with this really dark stuff. It's all coming out
No,
today. The corn,
I have
the Donner
darkness
Party, and what
embedded
else?
in my
Chopping
soul and
things
in my
into.
oh,
brain.
You
I
got
don't
anything else?
know.
What else have you got, Jenny? Listen, this is
Well,
interesting.
it's easy when you take what you see in the and you read everything in totality of what's happening. It's easy to go there. And that's some of, I understand that, Jennifer, because I make the, dark videos and we tell
I love
stories
their videos.
but I'm
God, they're
just
dark,
saying
but they're cathartic. Oh my God, this
that's
last one
kind of what it
that you
is.
made, it was a little 10-minute mind numbing uh can we stop, right? That one that you made,
Yeah.
Sandy, can we stop? That was just like that was a mind fuck. I mean, it was really poignant, but it was really powerful. It was very good.
Well,
Great music, by the way.
well
I love your music that you choose.
epidemic sound. They
Oh,
it's
oh,
where
so good.
artists can actually what they do is artists they put their music on epidemic sound and people like me pay a subscription fee and to use their music and then they're getting their music out, so that's I always try to put the name of the artist that I use
Oh yeah.
in the show notes. Yeah. Boy, this is
Right,
Freeform.
and
yeah,
but
freeform.
yeah, I want to follow up on what Jenny was saying. But when
Okay.
way back in those caveman days when they used to like probably eat their enemies and that, um, I think that's where this business of burials actually started. Burials was, you know how they came about was I think they used to put the bodies underground to ferment. They used to ferment the bodies by digging a hole, shoving them down in the, you know, and then they would dig them up again and then eat the fermented bodies, and then they would be left with the bones. And they found a site. They found a historic site. There was a cave where they found all these bones. Yeah, human
Oh god.
piles and piles. Yeah, piles and piles of human bones in this cave, right? And it looked like that they'd been stripped of flesh. So what I think that's how burials came about, is that they used to bury them to ferment the bodies, to eat the bodies, and then they used to dig them up again. But then they got to the stage where there was a surplus of food. They thought, oh, to hell with it, just bury them and leave them. And then we started leaving people in the ground instead of digging them up. Until, of course, you got these the Victorians. They started digging up the bodies because they used to use them for science. They used to sell them to the
Yeah.
doctors in the universities
Yes,
to cut them
because
open.
they had a shortage of corpses for
That's it. Yeah,
whatever they were doing. Oh god.
right.
Yes.
Grave robbers. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah. They used to
we've
do
got
that.
somebody who's mad at us in the chat tonight, and he's completely wrong. Environmentalists, are you being a troll? Because we are not. Okay, if you don't like the show, why are you here? Really, why are you here? And I don't usually call out trolls. And I tried to have a conversation with him because he's ascribing us personality traits that this is a very varied channel. There's a lot of different things on this channel. We don't think, he says this is the doomer party. Well, you know what? If you don't like it, go. No one's asking you to
Go,
be here.
leave,
Yeah, get
go
the fuck out of
away,
here.
go
If you
away.
don't
We
like
don't
it,
want
we'll
you.
come back when I do a show alone. You want to do it? We'll do dueling thoughts and all that. But really, you're becoming a real downer, and I don't usually do it. So
Yeah.
fuck off.
Go
There
away,
you go.
No,
environmentalist. We don't
Someone
want
has to
it's
you.
tell
not
the truth.
fair.
He says, "We're just having a Friday night show, dude." Jeez, or female,
That's
or
so
whoever you are.
serious.
All right, we're done. We are done.
Okay,
That's it.
let's talk about Let's talk about unicorns now. We've got to talk about unicorns, and
Oh, yes, definitely. Halloween's coming. We have to talk unicorns. Yes, okay.
yeah, okay. Now,
What's your
what's with
experience with
what's with that?
unicorns?
What's with the unicorns? Actually, I think unicorns. You know where they came
All
from
right,
was
I'm
when the
baiting
sailors,
them.
the first sailors went out and they saw Africa and they saw rhinos. They saw rhinoceroses with the horns, and when they went back to England, and then they said, "There's these horses, and they have this, they're horse-like creatures. They're like horses, but they have these horns, and they're sticking out of their noses." And I think that's where the unicorn myth started. That was the
Really?
mythology. I
Oh,
think
yeah.
so.
Oh, there's a mythology. My God. We could go into this for hours. It's so fascinating. And that's where all of these writers in Hollywood and all the different places get all their ideas for, like shows like Game of Thrones. Human beings are incredible. We may be the only species
Oh yeah,
that's destroyed ourselves, but yet we are the most amazing
yeah, yeah. We're a
species.
very tragic
Oh,
species because we have great beauty about us at times when we're not
Absolutely,
being
absolutely.
selfish.
Yeah.
But
Well, I didn't even get on. Yeah.
we're kind of kissed by the gods, but ever so simian, and it's
Oh, yeah.
and then
yes.
the combination of that is what you've got. It's a big fucking mess.
It's a big
Well,
fucking mess.
I
Like
no, but
Brexit.
no, I love
To
what
circle
Jennifer said
back.
there. I agree. I'm right down the line with you, Jenny, because I've been on both sides of the tracks. I'm a
Yeah,
recovering alcoholic. I put it out there now, um,
yeah,
and I'm
We
not.
have a lot
It's
of
not a big
respect for
deal with
that.
me. I don't make it. I'm a recovering alcoholic. I've been sober now for 23 years. If I make it to December, it'll be
Wow.
24,
Wow,
which is not as
that's
long.
great.
But it's not as long as I drank, because I drank for 27 years. But I tell you, I was a very dark person. When I was drinking, I was the worst, I could be, really.
yeah.
And, you know, um, I don't want to go there, but it was a very negative time. And that's what alcoholism and drug addiction, it does to you. You don't have a life. It's anti-life. It's
It
really
takes it
anti-life.
takes over.
And so I've seen it from both sides, and then I managed to, go. I used AA actually, which is, as you know, founded
Mm-hmm.
in America.
Mm-hmm.
But now
Hmm.
it's a It's got its own energy now.
Bill
AA
W.
is big.
Friends of Bill W.
AA. Hush. Yeah, Friends of Bill W. That's right. That's the way we, but that's the way we roll. Put it that way. But AA is colossal in India, for example. There are AA members all over India, and they've got like 40 years, 50 years of recovery. And
Hmm.
and it's a global, because it's a human problem. It doesn't.
Yeah,
Alcoholism and addiction is not something that's, it doesn't. It just, if you're human, it'll take you. And
yeah.
humans are all over the globe, so it's a human phenomenon. And then recovery is also a human phenomenon. So
Mm-hmm.
AA is very big. And I'm often, when I'm not here, I go on AA meetings, and
You
then
have
we
your
talk to the
social
new
life.
guys.
Yeah.
We try to we try to bring in the new people, which is important. because it takes me back to where I was,
Are
And
you somebody's sponsor now?
I don't sponsor at the moment. I have sponsored
Okay.
people, but these days
That's
I tend
nice.
to. There's a great one in America called Keep It Simple, and what we do is at
Mm.
the end of the meetings we get one to one with some of the new people, and then you get a chance to speak to them and give them phone numbers and contacts and advice, and it's very good.
And that's extremely positive. Extremely. Thank you for
Yeah,
being you. Thank you for being you.
thank you. As I
Yeah.
Thank
said,
you,
this channel,
Raza.
your team really works, and I really rate it. It takes a lot. I'm not ringing my bell. I'm just saying it takes a lot to move me. It takes a lot to kind of, ring my bell. But what I when I first came and I saw Sandy, I thought she was way out there. I thought this dame is a bit, she's a bit
Way out
cuckoo or a
there,
bit.
really. I was way out
That was
there.
that was no, seriously. This was. But did you? Sandy, can I ask you a personal question? Did you used to drink at that time? You used to drink wine or something? A few years ago, did you when you kind of in the
No,
beginning in the early days?
no.
I don't know. Maybe I'm confusing you with somebody
That
else.
was
But
Chris.
anyway,
I don't know. I thought she had beer or whatever on her shows. No, think Jennifer and I have had our nights together where we've had
We've
like a,
had a couple
yeah.
of
But
nights where
no, I
we've
don't
had
drink very
drinks.
much at all. And
Yeah,
I mean, I
I
used
don't
to
either.
party once in a while. But the reason why I know about AA is because when I went to my undergrad, I was studying for the CA. It's called the CAC Certified Alcoholism Counselor credential credentials. And so part of that was attending AA and learning about that. So I know a lot about it. And I've known a lot of people in AA. So I thought that's commonality. But no, as far as drinking, no, not me. Not on the show. Not very often.
Well,
okay.
we have had a couple of
Yeah.
nights where we've had drinks, just beer
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah. But we
Nothing
don't.
too
And then I
serious.
No.
and then I
I mean,
kept
I
then I
do
kept
my little.
so the task. Anyway, I kept coming back, and I used to go on to at Big Ben News as well, and then I was on Chris's show once. I think
Mm-hmm.
when Chris was
When she
running the
was doing
show.
the natural
But
progressive.
yeah, that's the first time actually I came online with you guys, and yeah, and then for reasons that I'm not going to go into now, but I don't have time for some channels now. Put it this way, I'm going to put it nicely. But I just don't have the time and the opportunity to keep up with some channels, and I think the secret of your success, put it this way, is that it's all teamwork. You've got a great team, and you bounce off each other, and
Hmm.
We
you're all
bounce,
people.
but I've noticed that over the years we've grown, and I've watched especially Antonio. He's really grown, and he's finding himself, and he's becoming such an amazing. I mean, he's always been, but he's really becoming an amazing human being, and his analysis of things. And we just did a show together, and Nicholas, I'm so proud of because he's going for his PhD in emergency services, and we're just all cheering him on to be. Work for FEMA and help people because he's really that kind of person to help her be. And Jennifer, you're always growing in your career, and me, we're always doing things. I'm always taking something online, a course, or learning how to do something, or growing, or working locally because I am locally when I give myself the chance locally political, or I try to help out. And my girlfriend Karen, if you're watching this, I feel terrible because I always let them down. But I'm involved in a lot of things. So that's what's a good thing I think about this channel.
Well, Raza, I'm really happy that you grace our humble halls with your humor and your wit and your irony. It's my eyes always light up when I see Raza Eco Warrior, as you
Yeah.
know.
Who's Alice Paul and Lucy Burns? Are any reminiscent happenings in the planning? That's from Field B. Is that to you, Raza?
I didn't see it.
Okay,
What did it say?
Field B, is this to Raza? Alice, Paul, and Lucy Burns, are any reminiscent happenings in the planning? Is this for you?
What about Alice? No, Alice.
Okay.
Paul, English. Never
I
heard.
just didn't. I didn't know
I want to
who she was.
thank Jenny for that. Thank you, Jenny,
Okay.
for saying that. You're absolutely right, of course. Um, I can't put it this way. You make it difficult to disagree with you about what you said.
Well,
No,
we're happy that you
uh,
make time for us because we know there are a lot of shows out there on the air. The internet is flooded with all sorts of talk shows. And I'm
oh
so
yeah.
pleased that, you make time to add your energy to our community and
Yeah.
cheer it up a little bit. You're very funny.
Yeah. I think humor. I wrote something the other day about as long as there's that's right. As long as there's humor, there's hope. As long as we have humor,
Yeah.
there always is going to be hope. Once the humor goes, once the humor dies, that's it.
Well,
then it's game over.
we're not letting it happen. No,
No, I
no.
know.
Because
No, we're
even
not going to
even
go.
in the most awful things, in the most awful stories, the most hideous things that happen, there's always commonality with someone somewhere that you can find something to smile at, even when these daunting things are upon you. And that's how I have to live my life, because the totality of the heaviness that I feel at times with all the material that we read.
Yeah.
How can you not sometimes, fall for that doom? But yet you pull yourself back, and we go on every day, and then we just try like things like even the gardening stuff,
Yeah.
and making videos with our followers, gardening pictures of flowers and plants and growing in life and learning and sharing.
I'll show you some of my plants actually here. I've got indoor plants as well. Let me see if you can see them.
There you
But
go. Of course, greenery.
hold on. That's a huge one. I don't know. This one is going through the roof. It's like
Oh my
what you call
goodness.
elephants here. It's
I like that.
it's a Swiss cheese plant. Now, the thing is, it's getting. I don't know. I'm going to have to cut a hole in the roof so it can keep growing. In the ceiling. I mean.
That's awesome. Well, you can, if that's a
If you
plant
can
you
see
can
the
root.
others.
Look at, I see all of the others. Can you see them, Jen?
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
That's
They're,
nice.
they're the ones in the window. Those are the ones. Those flowers that go red, bright red at Christmas. What do you call those?
Poinsettias.
Yeah, poinsettias.
Poinsettias. And then after Christmas they keep growing. But they go green, and they just carry on. Oh, I must show you my aloe vera. I've got this great big. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. Let me have a look. I've got a huge. That's my aloe vera.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's a serious aloe vera plant. Holy moly.
Yeah. It wasn't.
Nice.
Yeah, it just. I had to keep putting it in bigger pots.
That
Because
thing is
it just keeps going.
serious.
And
I've had a
they've
lot
got
of
these
fun
things
tonight.
now. You can
Look at
grow
that
mushrooms. Oh my God!
Huh.
You get these.
Wow.
You get these boxes now, and you can grow. You can grow mushrooms out of them in these boxes. I don't know if you
Oh
can
my
see that.
God.
I
I've
have
never
one. I
seen one
did
of
it.
those before.
I did it, Jen, this year too. That's really cool, Raza,
Yeah.
that you have it
Oh
and you
my
eat them.
God.
Yep. It's amazing. It is. I
Oh
don't know
my
where they
God,
come
that's
from, but
crazy.
somebody figured it out, and we're consuming.
Yeah.
I bought them,
That's my.
but it's okay.
That's
It's
a
something to
small
grow.
one. That's a small Swiss cheese plant I have in the back there. They grow very well. If you're a complete dunce like me, you can grow those as well. You just put water in and they keep going.
Mr. Dumas.
Mr. Dumas is very funny
I
tonight.
know. Yeah, he's
Maybe
funny.
we'll all die laughing. What did it say? Maybe
When the
we'll all die
NO2
laughing if the nitrous oxide
Yeah.
levels keep rising. Of course, that's laughing gas, isn't it?
I've been laughing all night. I don't know. I mean, I got mad, yes, but I get mad rightfully so. I got pissed. Sorry. Sorry.
So,
Going to
they haven't
defend
made-
my Jen till the end. I love her. Guy was being a schmuck.
You know,
Yes. Yes, sir.
we'll meet again. Don't know where,
Will.
don't know when. But I know we'll meet again some sunny day. Now, that was from Vera Lynn, you know, at the Second World War. She was a nation's sweetheart. She used to sing,
Aw.
there'll be bluebirds over the white cliffs of Dover.
That
Just
was
you
really
wait and
sweet.
see.
That was
Yeah,
sweet.
and so I leave you with the nation's sweetheart, you know, and since it is a Brexit show, so,
Yeah.
you know, we're still here.
About an hour and a half ago.
Brexit or Brokkit, the Brokkit show.
And I haven't even complained once that my back hurt because I had a lot of fun tonight. I
Yeah,
did.
because we forget. That's
Yeah.
the one thing about it. You know, you forget when you're distracted, and especially when you're distracted with humor, then you forget these things. And I'm very proud of Sandy. You know, the way she deals with her. She carries everything so light. You know, you wouldn't know that she's in pain. You know.
No, I know.
That's what other people say, but I know. That's all right.
This is
I
the
mean,
stuff I like.
You do what you got to do.
We were
It's
running
not
out.
about
We
me.
run out of this stuff, you know, because they
Now
couldn't get
that's
the
what
gas.
you need.
We couldn't get
Yeah.
the CO2. Those were the empty shelves. They were showing you
That's
the water
wild.
shelves.
That's wild.
They were showing you the
That
shelves
is
of water.
wild.
They,
Wild. Well, let's see what the chat's doing.
right.
And
This
see if we have any-
is to the future.
Oh, okay. Wait, let me
I-
get my water. Jen, what do you got tonight? I got my water with cucumbers. My new thing.
Yeah, she
Till I
loves a
run out.
cucumber.
Oh yeah, till I
Okay.
run out of them. But yeah, they're great.
Jennifer, you make the toast. Jennifer, I think Jennifer should make the toast.
Yes.
Go on.
Well, here's to community and laughing in spite of the horrendous predicament that surrounds us. So, living with humor.
Living
We've got
with
each other.
humor.
We've
got
we
each other.
We are family.
There
I
we
got all
go.
my sisters with me.
Thank you, everybody.
This
Rich
is
Diana,
family.
Snork, Climate Marcher, you're here. Andy, thank you. Thank you for coming. Andy, Snork, J.A., Moniker, I think. Kim, thank you. And Hunter, thank you. Wonderful. Bella, Gazer, let's see, did I miss anybody? Oh, and environmentalist. If you want to come back, you have to behave yourself. That's all I have to say. And Kay, we'll leave with let's give Kay the last word. I used to grow my own pot, mostly from my late hubby. He smoked the buds and I smoked the leaves that were left when I cut the plants back. He called mine Pot Light. Well, thanks, Kay. Kay, we appreciate that you come from Facebook. Well, you're here with us on YouTube, but we appreciate all of you. Really, we do. So, thanks. Thank you. I am going to say goodnight, Jen. I love you.
I love you too.
Raza,
And thank
I
you
will
so much,
see you.
Raza.
And Raza, I'll see you on the Discord
lovely
because
to
we're
see you.
on there every day. Anybody wants to join the Discord, I'll put the thing up. We have a little community on there, and we try. All right, guys.
We need a few more. We need some
Yeah.
more people on Discord.
Yeah.
Jenny,
Make it
I
fun.
didn't see Jenny on there yet.
I think
I
sent
know,
you
I'm
an
so
invite.
quiet about things like that. I haven't done it.
It's okay. When you do, you do. That's it. All right, guys. Peace out.